Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Mystic Magic. In today's pick a card reading, we are going to be taking a look at what your soul is craving. What does your soul need? What is it longing for? I have 3 piles prepared for you to choose from today. Over here on pile number 1, we have this beautiful Labradorite. I hope that you can see all of its beautiful colors. It's hard. It's like you need to get it at the right angle and the right lighting, but hopefully you can see some of its beauty. Over here on pile number 2, we have this Citrine cluster. And on pile number 3, we have this Lepidolite. So feel free to pause the video if you need some more time figuring out which pile you're the most drawn towards. And then once you've chosen, you can scroll down to the description box or the pinned comment and skip ahead to your reading. A couple of quick disclaimers before we start. Tarot is just a tool that reads the current energy, and energy is always changing. So remember that you have free will and the power to create change. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. Don't try to force all the messages to fit for you in your life. There could simply just be messages here that are meant for other people watching that just aren't meant for you. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Hey there, pile 1. If you chose this beautiful Labradorite, this is going to be a reading all about what your soul is craving. So before we take a look at these oracle cards, we are first going to be shaking up this bag that has little scraps of paper with messages on it. And these will be our first hints as to what it is that your soul is craving, what it's longing for. So let's see. Spirit guides, please. Pile number 1, my pile number 1's. What is pile number 1's soul craving, please? What is pile number 1's soul craving? Okay. This is a lot, but one of them fell out, so I'll take these. Okay. So we have take action. Okay. We have happiness. Okay, we have desire. We have the 12th house of Pisces with the mantra, I believe. We have guarded. And we also have entrepreneur. Okay, so is there some kind of business that you're wanting to start or some kind of project? There's definitely a deep, deep desire that you have, especially with the 12th house coming up. There's something that you're really longing for. Your soul is really longing for you to take action towards something that's going to make you really happy. And it seems to be that you're a little bit guarded. Maybe you're afraid of putting yourself out there, or you're afraid of taking a risk of some sort, maybe being fearful of being judged or what other people are going to think or say about this. But it's quite clear that your soul is really wanting you to start taking action towards things that make you happy and towards things that you desire, because after all, that's why we're here, right? So this is really interesting. I'm going to put these off to the side, maybe over here. And let's take a look at what your oracle cards have to say. So we have healing, number 29. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. Okay, and you actually got 2 of these chakra cards. So we have growth And we also have impasse. We have the spider. We have fulfillment. And we also have milk and honey. Wow. Okay, Pyle 1. What your soul is craving is for you to get out of your own way. With this impasse card here and the sacral chakra, this is really making me think of this guarded message that came up when we shook that bag. And I really feel like, you know, the phrase that's coming to mind is like you're your own worst critic, or you're your own worst enemy. That's really what I'm feeling for this group. And it's like, I feel like you've been getting in your own way because you doubt yourself on some level, or feel like maybe you struggle with imposter syndrome or something like that, and you may feel like, well, who am I to do this? Or, you know, I would never be successful at that. Maybe you struggle with comparing yourself to other people who are doing similar things, or you compare your path to someone else's path. But your soul is really wanting to bring attention to the fact that there's so much abundance and joy and fulfillment that's waiting for you on the other side of this blockage. And your soul is really calling for you to take the time to really tune into yourself and ask yourself, like, why am I getting in my own way? What's really causing this? You know, what is really stopping me from moving forward, and what's stopping me from going after these things that make me really happy, from these things that I really desire for my life? Why is it that I'm stopping myself? And what is it that I can do to take steps towards healing this and growing from this? Because it feels like there's a seed of doubt that has been planted, whether that initially came from you, or this could have been projected onto you for a really long time. Maybe since childhood, you were made to question yourself, question your needs, doubt your abilities, doubt your talents. Maybe people around you weren't supportive or didn't offer you the kind of support that you needed. And I feel like you kind of took that on and accepted it as truth and never really questioned it or thought twice about it. But now your soul is coming through to say, it's time to start questioning that, because this seed of doubt that was planted has now turned into this like garden of weeds, if you will. And it's kind of obscuring your vision, or obscuring your belief in what you think you can do and accomplish. And it's like, it's time to get into that garden and pluck out all those weeds. It's time to till the soil. You know, it's time to fertilize it. Let's plant new seeds. Let's plant seeds to grow things that are going to make me feel really happy, that are going to bring me a lot of fulfillment and joy and satisfaction, and this feeling of pride and accomplishment for having gotten so far. Because this spider card tells me that you're incredibly creative. We also have entrepreneur here. Okay, so you're definitely very, very creative, and I think you have you may have strong Aquarius energy, or maybe like strong Uranus placements or 11th house placements, but I feel like there's something really unique about you, and I honestly keep hearing genius. So I think you have a really unique and progressive idea or ideas, and maybe you feel like, oh, this is way too out there. Like, nobody's gonna accept this. Nobody's gonna, you know, agree with it. Like, who would be on board with this? Like, I don't see how this is going to work. I just saw 1111 on the timer, okay? So, and we even have another 11 here with the healing card. The number 29 reduces to 11. So it's like, you're such a powerful manifester, and you have such a strong vision for what you want your life to be, but you're holding yourself back in some way. And this is actually blocking your manifestations from coming in, from all of this abundance coming in. And Spirit is wanting me to say that every action you take, every step you take, every decision that you make, every thought that you have, everything that you do weaves another notch into this web. And you can create the web that you want. You can create the life that you want, that you desire. It's all up to you. It's like having a blank canvas, right? You're holding the paintbrush. You can make it the way that you want it to be. And this may not be easy to hear, but it's like you're in this position because you put yourself there, but also you're in a position of control, and you can change that at any point. You don't have to continue to remain feeling stuck or blocked. You can choose to take a different action. You can choose to weave a new knot in your web and change the direction that you're going in. You don't have to keep repeating the same choices and decisions, because I feel like you're at this point where it's like, you know that what you're doing isn't leading you towards your goals or your desires, but at the same time, you still have this underlying fear or doubt that's stopping you from moving forward. So you're in this kind of like strange limbo phase where it's like, you're not quite out with the old and you're not quite in with the new. And so I feel like there's this feeling of like frustration or stagnation, and maybe you're losing motivation or losing momentum in some way. And that's why we had this first message of taking action, because when you're feeling stuck or stagnant, it's because the energy's not moving. And how do we get energy moving? By taking action. And so at this point, it's like, it doesn't even matter what action you take, but just the fact of taking any action is going to start help to get your momentum moving. It's going to start moving your energy a little bit. So if you've been maybe in this state of analysis paralysis where you're like trying to figure out how to move forward, and maybe you're over analyzing things and maybe being really hard on yourself, like, no, I need to find the perfect answer. I need to find like the perfect path where I won't make any mistakes. It's really just holding you back. Oh, you may be a perfectionist. That could also be something that's holding you back. But either way, your soul is really, really calling for you to focus on healing this wound that you have. With the sacral chakra and the heart chakra really being highlighted with all of these greens and oranges, this is definitely a matter of the emotions, especially with the 12th house Pisces being here as well. Pisces is a water sign and has very deep emotional depths. It's also ruled by Neptune, right? So there could be certain illusions in place where you're not fully recognizing maybe the extent to which this wound or these fears or insecurities are affecting you and impacting you. But I would say there's a lot of emotional healing that needs to take place. I also can't help but notice that we have two rainbows here. We have this rainbow here in Milk and Honey, and we also have this beautiful rainbow in the spider web here. So rainbows could be a significant sign for you if you're seeing them. This is your soul encouraging you to take one step at a time towards healing and towards moving forward. And I also see this as encouragement to focus on realigning your chakras. So specifically, like I mentioned, I would say focus on the sacral and the heart chakra. This is all about our emotions, all about compassion, kindness, patience, creativity. Okay? There's something that's wanting to be birthed that hasn't yet come out. And this is what your soul is really calling attention to. We also have 2 full moons. There's one here in the impasse card. Oh, you can't see it because of the glare. We have a moon here. And there's also a moon here in the fulfillment card. So it's like it's time to release all of these things that have been holding you back. And it's time to start a new chapter where you really start to believe in yourself more. You start to believe in your capabilities and your talents and what you came here to do. So let's see. Let's grab the tarot and find out if there's any more messages. Spirit guides, please, for pile number 1. What is pile number 1's soul craving? Is there anything else, please, that you can tell us about pile number 1 and what their soul is craving? Okay, so to start, we have the 6 of Swords, we have the Emperor, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, okay. We also, we have the 9 of Cups, and on the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups as well. Exactly. Your soul is wanting you to really come back into your own power. Because like I was saying earlier, maybe these seeds of doubt that have been planted within you never even came from you in the first place. And your soul's really wanting you to call back your power, to step back into your power, to step back into the core of who you are, remembering who you are, and literally going after all of these opportunities that are presenting themselves to you to fulfill your desires with the 9 of Cups. Okay? With the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, there's definitely a lot of offers and opportunities that are going to be coming in for you, or even that have been coming in for you. And maybe you haven't been taking action towards them because you're feeling like, oh, I can't do that, blah, 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 whatever reasons or excuses that you've been coming up with. And now your soul is saying with the Emperor, it's time to remember who the fuck you are and what you're capable of, and to start taking action towards them, because there's like definitely some kind of opportunity that has so much potential to make you so happy here with the 9 of Cups that will really like bring you into this new period of your life where you're feeling more in control, you're feeling more stable, you're feeling more secure, more sure of yourself. It's like I'm seeing someone who I'm hearing that like it's like, what do we want? Change. When do we want it? Now. It's like I'm getting that kind of energy from you where it's like you know what you want and you're not afraid to go after it anymore because you have this newfound sense of like confidence and self-assuredness where you're like, look, even if obstacles come up, or even if this person says this thing or makes this comment, or if this situation happens, like no matter what, I know that I'm good. I know that I'll be fine. And like anything that happens is just an opportunity for me to really step up, really challenge myself, really make me creative in how I deal with situations, how I get around with certain situations. And something else that your soul is saying is to be more open to accepting help, to accepting advice from people. Of course, always take things with a grain of salt. Trust your intuition. You always know what's best for you, but be open to it. You don't have to take the advice, but be open to hearing it. You don't necessarily have to take the opportunity, but be open enough to allow it to come into your life and allow yourself to really think on every level how this opportunity could help or maybe even hinder you. So, of course, it's important to be realistic, it's important to be logical, but also pay attention to how you feel. Like, does it make you feel really excited? Does it make you feel really happy? Does it make you feel really creative and passionate? Those are things that you want to pay attention to, because even if it doesn't make the most sense, if you follow those really beautiful, positive, high vibrational feelings, it's only going to lead to more goodness. So if some opportunity comes up for you and you're like, holy shit, like that would be so crazy if I got to be able to do that, like, and then you start envisioning what your life would look like and, you know, all the cool things that you would be doing, and you're starting to get really excited, and then you're like, well, I don't know if I can even do that. Like, am I cut out for this? And you start doubting yourself. Your soul is wanting you to come back to your center, come back to source, and meditate on your own energy until you feel those feelings of doubt fade away. Because we're always going to have doubts and fears and feel insecure about things, and that's fine and that's normal, but we don't have to live there. We don't have to let those things hold us back. We can take a moment and validate ourselves and be like, yeah, you know, this opportunity is awesome, but it's also making me feel insecure. It makes me feel a little bit afraid. It's outside of my comfort zone. I've never pushed myself that far, so I don't really know if I'll be able to succeed at it. Those are all valid. And you can feel like that and still choose to move forward and still choose to take that risk, because if it's something that you feel like will make you really happy or bring you a lot of fulfillment and satisfaction, it's always worth pursuing, and that's what your soul really wants you to remember. So let's take a look at some practical advice that your soul has for you. Okay, we have a new romantic cycle begins, a new moon in Libra. And we also have meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. Yeah, like with both of these new moons here, it's like there's a lot of beginnings that want to come in, especially we have this Ace of Pentacles here as well. We were talking about 1111. So it's like your soul's really wanting you to focus on these new beginnings that are coming in. Fish always make me think of abundance. And I literally, oh my God, wow, I just realized this says meditate and contemplate. And I just finished saying that, like, when you start to feel those feelings of doubt or fear or whatever, to meditate and reflect on your own energy, to sit with your emotions and allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, and then allow yourself to call back your power, to come back into your power and say, it's fine that I'm feeling this way, and that's a normal reaction to have, but, you know, I'm going to choose to really follow my heart and do what's best for me, because I feel like it's interesting. We have the scales here with Libra, and then we also have the two fish on the Pisces card, which also feel balanced, like this yin-yang energy. So it's like, I feel like things have been out of balance for you because of the fact that you haven't been taking action or moving towards your goals or your desires. And it's like, this is how you can really help to rebalance your energy. And that as well, there needs to be a balance between masculine energy and taking action and putting yourself out there and really directing your energy towards things, and also balancing that with your feminine energy, where you're in this state of receiving, where you're open, where you're going with the flow. Okay, because when we're in this place of stagnation, it's like we're neither taking action nor are we allowing ourselves to be in a state of flow. It's like we're in resistance to everything around us, and it's very exhausting. It really drains your energy on every level, like physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically. It's draining to fight so hard to push everything away from you. And it can be quite scary, but your soul is really, really assuring you that you will be okay. You are safe to take action. You're safe to move towards your goals and your desires. Okay? Because it's all waiting for you. What's meant for you is always yours. You can never lose it. And it's waiting for you whenever you're ready to get there. This card here is going to represent a direct message from your soul. So let's see what it is. Look at that. We have, you are magic. You are magic. Don't you ever forget it. You know, I actually feel called to read this out of the book for you. So let me grab the little book. Okay, so you are magic. Some key words or phrases. We have manifestation, innate skill, the power to bring your dreams to life, optimism, creativity and magic, wisdom and resourcefulness, and a time to practice what you preach. Okay, and then it says, you are magic. You are stardust in human form, and you can bring your dreams to life. From your ability to envision your future to your ability to bring it to fruition through intentional action, you can co-create the fabric of your reality by intermingling thought, will, desire, and doing. It's time to use your hands as a conduit for your energetic ideas and thought forms, and collaborate with the divine universe as you actively change the world around you. Create, make connections, right? Like this new moon in Libra. Right intentions, heal. Wow. Know that great strides and incredible progress are likely at this time, and that you already have everything you need to make this dream come alive. If you're feeling blocked, you may be scattering your resources instead of focusing on a specific goal. Make sure you aren't overshadowing your positive thinking with any underlying fears of failure or any unintentional thought patterns that are scrambling your vibe. Focus your thoughts, and you are limitless. Do you feel the power running through your palms? Okay, and there's 3 prompts here. So the first one is, how often are you bringing your most treasured desires to the front of your mind? And what actions are you taking to bring them to life? And then we have, are you leveraging your optimism, wisdom, and resourcefulness? And the last one is, which of your talents is hiding underneath the surface and why is it being underutilized? So I'll hold this up for you. Feel free to take a little screenshot if you want to actually sit and reflect on these prompts here. But wow, this card, I'm so glad I read it out of the book for you, because that seriously just summarized everything that we've been talking about. Wow. Okay. I love when that happens. So our last 2 cards here, these are also going to represent what your soul is craving in terms of self-care. So we have Be Still. And we also have Read. Okay, so this Be Still card again is bringing me back to this meditate and contemplate card. This could be something that you've been avoiding, maybe because you're afraid of really coming to terms with the idea that you've been the one that's been holding yourself back. But there's a lot of wisdom that your soul is wanting to communicate with you that you will easily find while meditating or in times of stillness. So this could be meditating in the traditional sense, but this could even be like taking a bath or something, or you know, if you're like getting a massage or something like that. Just moments where you're in stillness with no distractions, where you can really just sit and reflect and allow these messages from your soul and your guides and the universe to come through and help guide you. If there's a particular book that you've had your eye on or that you've been wanting to read, this is your sign to read it, because there could be extra messages or information or something like that that could really help you in some way to overcome these blockages or to find a way forward. So you're really being encouraged to read as well. So Pyle 1, that's everything that I'm seeing for you. Let me know in the comments how this resonated for you. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching, and hit the post notification bell so you never miss out on when I upload a video. I love you so, so much. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Hey there, Pyle 2. If you chose this beautiful citrine, this is going to be a reading all about what your soul is craving. So before we get into these oracle cards, we're actually going to shake up this little bag that has scraps of paper in it with different messages on it, and these will be our first hints as to what your soul is craving. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2, my citrine pile. Oh, my ear is ringing. What is pile number 2's soul craving, please? Oh, what is pile 2's soul craving? Okay. Alrighty. So let's see. We have sudden endings. We have fulfillment. Okay. We have South Node. We have inspiring. We have power. And we have the 3rd house with Gemini and the mantra, I think. Okay, very interesting. So what this is making me feel like, Pyle 2, is your soul is really wanting you to move away from what's no longer serving you, to maybe move away from certain attachments that you have that aren't fulfilling you or that aren't inspiring you, and to really step into your power to move forward towards things that make you feel good, that make you feel abundant and joyful and happy. There could be certain mindsets, mentalities, attitudes, or thought patterns that you have that have been holding you back or keeping you stuck in some way. So this could be like, I don't know, if you're speaking really harshly to yourself, or if you're telling yourself like, oh, you can't do that, or you won't succeed at that, or you wouldn't be good at that, or, you know, we're not good enough for that. Your soul is really calling for you to end those ways of thinking, and to instead use your thoughts and your words as a way to empower yourself instead of disempower yourself. Okay? So we're going to leave these off to the side, and we're going to take a look at your oracle cards now. So to start, we have Delight number 19. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. We also have forgiveness with the third eye chakra. We have the turtle. We have success. And we have never-ending story. Okay. So pile 2. This never-ending story card is kind of exactly what I was just talking about. It's like there's a certain narrative that you've been telling yourself that's really been preventing you from finding all of the success and happiness that you're entitled to, that you deserve to have, and that's also just patiently waiting for you. I do feel like this goes back to childhood with this forgiveness card, and this delight card immediately made me think of inner child healing, which actually has never happened before with this card, but as soon as it came out when I was preparing for your pile, it had flipped over, and the number 19 made me think of the sun, and the sun can also talk about the inner child, right? And I found it to be very fitting that we have the citrine here as well, because to me, citrine is so very much the same as the energy of the sun. It's bright, it's warm, it's passionate, it's joyful, it's happy, it's abundant, right? It's life-giving. It brings a lot of good vibes. So I feel like this narrative may have been something that you grew up around. You may have seen or experienced your parents or caregivers or people in your family, people in your friend group at the workplace who maybe thought this way or spoke to themselves or spoke to other people in this sort of manner where it was very negative, it was very harsh, it was very disempowering. It really brought you down. It really made you doubt yourself or made you feel fearful in some way. And your soul is really calling for you to really reconnect with your inner child and sit with your inner child and to really forgive yourself and to forgive these other people. Now, I know that is much easier said than done. Of course, this is something that can take time, and there's no rush on these things. There's no pressure to hurry up and do this. But this is really what your soul is calling for you to do. It's what your soul is really craving. This is really interesting because I'm getting such a strong feeling and message about the inner child, but then we also have the turtle here. And the turtle often represents like an old soul, a very wise old soul. So it's like you have this really interesting energy where you have so much wisdom and so much experience. You've learned so many different lessons, but at the same time, I feel like your inner child is super prevalent in your life. And it's like by combining these two things is really how you'll find success in life. It's like combining the wisdom of an old soul and the exuberance of an inner child and the passion and enthusiasm and putting them together to make this powerhouse. Because that's what I feel like you are. Like I'm hearing the word bulldozer. And what I'm feeling like is maybe a lot of people used to put you down because they saw how much power you had, they saw how brightly you shined, how much potential that you had, and that made them feel really insecure. So they projected their insecurities onto you, hoping that they would be able to pull you back down to their level because there was no way that they could meet you where you were, because not that you were above them, it's just, we're all on different journeys and everyone has different kinds of potential, right? So I think a lot of people were intimidated by that and they were like, well, this person, I don't want to see this person succeed because then that just highlights to me where I'm lacking. And so you may have adopted this way of thinking without even really fully realizing maybe what you were doing or what was happening. But it's time to end that cycle, right? 37 here reduces to a 10, and we also had this first message about sudden endings, and we also have the South Node here. So it's like your soul is really calling for you to find a lot of compassion and grace for yourself, to forgive yourself for maybe thinking this way for so long, or dimming your light or holding yourself back in some way, and to really start, it's like to start flipping the script and changing the way that you think and using your mind, your words, your voice as a way to really empower and inspire yourself and other people as well. Because there's no denying that you're a bright light. Like, look at this delight card right in the middle here. You're such a bright light, and I feel like people made you out to feel this way. Made you feel a little bit gray, made you feel deflated, depleted, unworthy, incapable, which can't be farther from the truth. And forgiveness doesn't mean that what happened was okay. It means that you don't deserve to hold on to these really difficult emotions. It means that you're allowing yourself the grace to let it go because you deserve to be free of that. You deserve to be full of love. Instead, you deserve to be at peace with yourself, and you deserve to move forward. You don't deserve to feel stuck in the past for so long, when I feel like you have a really strong mission here and there's a lot that you're here to accomplish. And I feel like once you start adopting a more positive mindset and maybe using positive affirmations and things like that and really start believing yourself, it's like you're effortlessly going to be coasting into this period of really great success in your life. And I feel like no matter what you do, like whatever path you choose to go down, it's like you're going to be successful, and there's going to be like a plethora of opportunities for you to really showcase your skills and your talents and what you can create out of that. Because again, like this idea of power, right? And we have this Black Panther or this Jaguar, I'm not sure what it is, on this success card here. And it's like super intimidating, right? Like, I wouldn't want to be walking around this jungle knowing that this badass hunter is like, you know, stalking the scene. That's what I'm getting. But like, you have such a gentle soul is something else that I want to say. I feel like you're so gentle. You may be empathic or highly sensitive, but one thing that's for damn sure is that you have such a bright light, and it's like anyone who's ever attempted to dim your light, I'm hearing that it was futile. Like there's no way that they could ever succeed in dimming your light. Your light is always there. It's so bright, and your soul is really wanting you to give yourself a break, okay? Allow yourself to have fun. Allow yourself to do things that make you happy. Allow yourself to indulge your inner child and, like, you know, watch some cartoons or, like, I don't know, play with Play-Doh or play outside, play some board games. Like, just have fun and do what you enjoyed doing as a kid. Because it doesn't matter how old you are. There's always room to play and have fun. That doesn't end when, you know, you enter your adolescent years. It doesn't end when you turn into an adult. Like, we should always be having fun. It's good for the soul. We need to have fun. We need to play, okay? And I feel like that's what your soul is really urging for you to do. Also, I want to say, if you have any creative blocks, or like mental blocks or like writer's block or something like that, allowing yourself to have fun and to play is really going to help to remove those blocks for you, because I feel like you're highly creative, and especially with the third eye chakra and delight here, it's like all creative people are heavily connected to source, because that is where creativity and inspiration comes from, right? It's all divine. And by taking a break and allowing yourself to have fun, to really be connected to the present moment and like forget about everything else that's going on and just focusing on having fun and like laughing and having a great time, you allow yourself to enter a state of flow. And that really is going to help to unblock any of these creative blocks that you're having. And it's really going to bring in a lot of inspiration for you. Okay? That's something that I really want to say. Because, yeah, we have the third eye, and then we have like the heart and the sacral and the solar plexus chakras being highlighted here. I definitely think you receive a lot of your creative ideas from source. It's something that you either channel in or you receive it clairvoyantly. You may see it in a dream. You may have visions of it or like daydream about different ideas and things. So yeah, that's just a message that's coming through from your soul, is that any kind of creative block can be resolved by allowing yourself to fully surrender, allow yourself to have a bit of fun, and the inspiration will flow back to you, okay? I just saw 17:17 on the timer. Let's grab the tarot now and see what other messages want to come through for you, okay? So, spirit guides, please, for pile number 2. My pile 2s. What is pile number 2's soul craving, please? What else can you tell us about what pile 2's soul is craving? Okay, so we have judgment. Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of maybe like fear or insecurity around what other people are gonna say, or even harshly judging yourself as well. Okay, we also have the Two of Swords, and I just saw 18:18 on the clock. Interesting. Okay, so what is pile number 2's soul craving? Okay, we also have the King of Swords, and okay, I'm actually going to leave this as it came out. So we have the Seven of Swords coming out as a blockage, and on the back, yeah, on the back of the deck, we have the High Priestess. Okay, so oh wow, look at, oh shit. Okay, so first of all, the star just came out, which is number 17. And you remember I said I saw 17:17 on the timer? And look at that, we just had the World popping out too. Your soul is really wanting you to complete this cycle, this never-ending story. Okay, this South Node where you've been holding yourself back, what's been holding you back. And to really move forward towards your dreams, towards your inspirations, whatever wishes you have. Like, I feel like there's something that you've really been wanting to like go after, but you've really been blocking yourself from it. Your soul is really wanting you to stop second guessing yourself, because your intuition is on point. Okay, that's what your soul is saying. Your intuition is on point, but you doubted a lot. You really doubted a lot. I feel like you've been gaslighted a lot in your life, or just I don't know, like people made you feel that you're wrong for feeling the way that you do, or that like, yeah, just being gaslighted. But your intuition is on point, and you could be blocking yourself off by having these fears and doubts, which can make you feel more confused about how to move forward, right? Because our intuition is very quiet, and fear and anxiety and doubts, those are all very loud voices. And so we really need to quiet the mind in order to actually hear and feel our intuition. And with the King of Swords here, it's like, again, this idea of power and of being really discerning with the thoughts that you have or the thoughts that come up, and to not to judge them, but to assess them and be like, okay, is this thought that I'm having like even accurate? You know, is it real? Does it have any like solid basis to go off of? Like, where's the evidence? That's what I'm getting with the King of Swords. It's to like bring yourself to court on it. Like, if let's say you, I don't know, want to start selling paintings, and then you have this thought that comes into your head that's like, yeah, but like, you know, I don't even think I would be successful at that. Ask yourself, be like, well, why don't you think we'll be successful? Like, I'm really great at painting, and there's no reason why people wouldn't love my paintings. There's no reason why, you know, I wouldn't be able to do this for a living. You don't really have proof that I'm not going to be successful at it. So thank you for sharing your opinion, but I'm not going to listen to you. It's almost like your soul is wanting you to call out your own bullshit. With Judgment and the Seven of Swords being a blockage here, it's like I feel like you've been really avoiding doing something, or avoiding stepping into your power, or really just avoiding being your most authentic self because you're afraid of what may happen after that. It's like you've become so comfortable with where you're at now, even if it's not fulfilling you, that the thought of changing anything seems really terrifying, which I completely empathize with. But your soul is saying that like you're literally set up and built for success. Like you have everything that it takes. And it's like, I feel like a lot of these kinds of like thoughts and things are things that you've learned from other people, but it's not something that's native to you. It's like it doesn't really belong to you. And it's like it's time to shed these false narratives, these like, for some of you, just lies that you've been telling yourself, that like, oh, I'm not good at that, I won't be successful, I'll never make it, you know, I'm not good for anything. And it's like, no. Your soul is like, we need to end this like pronto, okay? Because your soul has so much wisdom that it really wants to share, and it's hard to get that through when you have your thoughts racing in this like negative way. I noticed we also have the Hermit under the High Priestess. Like you literally are such a sage. You're such an old soul that has so much wisdom that is like dying to be channeled into you, but you're not quite in a state of receiving yet because these doubts are blocking this channel. Okay, so definitely the mind and the mental realm is really being highlighted here, which is interesting because the other group was much more based in emotions, but I see for your group that it's much more about your thoughts and the way that you think, and like what you choose, which thoughts you choose to believe. But I love that we have Judgment here, because Judgment is so close to completion. Like we have the world that follows Judgment. So it's like you're almost at this point of ending this cycle. You're almost at this point of stepping away from the past and moving into the future, moving towards your destiny, moving towards your North Node. And Judgment also talks about rebirth and resurrection. It's this like cleansing and renewal and allowing the cycle to end and allowing yourself to be guided into this new period where you're feeling much more in control, feeling much more empowered. Because I feel like who you are at your core is such a strong, like, you're just such a strong pillar. Like, the energy that I'm picking up with this King of Swords is just someone who knows exactly who they are. And it's like, when you know who you are, like, nothing can shake you. No one can throw you off your game because you know the truth, right? So what people tell you is either the truth or it's not the truth. And if it's not the truth, it doesn't affect you because you already know what the truth is. So you have been hiding yourself from this truth because maybe you're afraid of stepping into those shoes because you've been made to feel like you're not worthy or good enough or capable of doing that. But your soul is saying, like, literally that could not be farther from the truth. Okay? So let's get some practical advice from your soul. Look at that. We have it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. Yeah. And we also have the answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. Yeah, look at so much Gemini and Mercurial energy with the third house coming out. We have Gemini again. We have all of these swords over here. So exactly, it's like you can't receive... Oh, hold on. You can't see that card. Let me... Okay. Right. So it's like you can't receive all the downloads and messages that your soul is trying to give you, your guides, the universe, because this negativity or these mindsets, this attitude, this way of thinking and speaking to yourself is really blocking you. And that the way to find clarity is to allow yourself to release what's no longer working, releasing any negative influences, negative thinking patterns, habits, anything that's getting in the way, because that's what is going to allow all of this wisdom to flow through you. It's like, okay, what they're showing me is, you know, those infomercials for those cleaning products that like decalcify your shower head? They're literally showing me like this really crusty shower head, okay, and it's like you get in to go shower and you like turn the water on and there's no water coming out because it's all like crusty and shit. Okay, so this is like where you're currently at. And it's like after you use this product, it decalcifies everything and removes whatever's blocking the shower head, and now the water is free flowing. So it's like by releasing all of this buildup, it's going to open the passage for all of this wisdom and clarity and information to come through. And it's going to feel so much easier for you to move forward. Like you're going to see a clear path ahead of you. You're going to realize like what makes you happy, what you find fulfilling, what brings you joy, what makes you feel abundant. You're going to open up to receive inspiration and ideas and creativity, and everything is just going to start to flow. Everything is going to start to move in the direction that you want it to go in. Okay? So this card here is going to be a direct message from your soul. Oh, I forgot you actually got two cards. So we have Cozy Up with Risk, number 61. And we also have Creator Alchemy, number 60. I was really, oh my gosh. I was only aiming to get one card. And when this Cozy Up with Risk card came out, I put it back in the deck and it fell out again. So I took it for you. So I'm actually going to read these out of the book because that's what I did for pile 1 and the messages like really resonated. So we will start off with Creator Alchemy. Okay, so some keywords or key phrases for this card. We have a powerful alchemist, your calling, purpose, passion, the ability to manifest your dream into reality, being on the road to success, new creative abilities, activating dormant DNA, the spark of ideas. Look, this is already resonating so much. Okay. So the message says, you are a powerful alchemist and you're ready to transform the ingredients of your life and make your gold. You're about to step onto a timeline of great potential where there's a window of opportunity to engage in your own evolution. Use your creator alchemy to refashion offbeat skills or to rethink unusual experiences from your past that will become relevant again. These fleeting moments offer quintessential creators like you the power to activate dormant DNA, change your awareness of self, and experience a profound inner change. Some call it ascension, right, with judgment here. Others call it a frequency shift, and others perceive it as neurogenesis, epigenetics, or upgrades in consciousness. As you blend past and future, your creator core is ready to level up and draw inspiration from this upgrade. Try to remain on your highest vibe over the next few days so you can take advantage of this potential. Co-create willingly with Source and watch for unusual or eccentric illuminations to seed the way. Changing matter into creator gold will be anything but business as usual. Okay, so then it also has some prompts on here. So it says, have you been tracking the ideas and wisdom that you've been downloading from Spirit lately? I love it. It also says, you're a badass creator. You've been alchemizing your experiences for a while now, so what's holding you back from manifesting the big dream? And then it also says, do you need more support, technique, guidance, determination, faith, passion, energy, certainty, knowing, or what ingredient will speed up your transformation? So I'll hold this up for you if you want to screenshot those prompts. You can like journal about it or something, or just reflect on it. And then with Cozy Up with Risk, the keywords that we have are fearless pursuit of your dreams, an ability to successfully manage calculated and uncalculated risk, pushing past fear, new opportunities, creative expansion of what's possible, learning to control the monkey mind. Wow, that's definitely that Gemini energy. Learning to bless fear and move ahead anyways, and focusing on the goal. So it says, risk is inevitable when you're pursuing your dream, so go on, cozy up, and get to know each other. Risk is a little bit like a campfire. Both need to be watched and tended carefully. Neither should be feared, and respect and responsibility are part of the deal. And just as a campfire can be a magical catalyst for 100 wonderful stories, risk can be the catalyst for 100 realized dreams. Ooh, that gave me goosebumps. Encountering risk means you're aware, pushing boundaries, and innovating, and you're bravely trying new things, testing ideas, and living. Trust that the reward will be waiting for you when you take your leap of faith, and that you'll find your soft landing in love, in your investments, or in your creations. This is a catalyst for something better. You're working towards an extraordinary life, and the only way to arrive passes right by the warm, inevitable glow of the unknown. So the prompts for this card are you worrying without any real cause? Are you stressed when things go exactly as planned? Are you blowing your risk out of proportion? Are you ruminating over things you cannot change? Are you worrying about something that hasn't happened yet? And what area in your life requires a little more trust from you? So I'll hold this one up too if you want to screenshot it. Okay. I love those messages. Those really, really resonated with what we were talking about. Okay, so our last 2 cards are also going to represent what your soul is craving, but this time it will be related to self-care. So we have dance, and we also have make an altar. Yeah, I love this. With making an altar, this is, I mean, both of these is kind of what we've been talking about. It's like, I'm actually going to start with dance because it's like, this is a really great way to have a lot of fun and to get your energy moving. Like, put on your favorite music, put on your favorite soundtrack, your favorite song, your favorite album or artist, and just blast it and have a dance party, okay? Like, just let yourself be in this state of flow, let the music move you, and I feel like this could really be a great way for you to open up your connection to source so that clarity and ideas can come in. And then likewise with make an altar here, your soul is really wanting you to spend more time connecting back to itself, and also just connecting to spirituality or religion in general. Like, whatever you follow, you know, if you work with any deities or anything like that, it's about making a sacred space where you can spend time with your creator and communicating with your creator, you know, whatever label you choose, God, source, the universe, spirit, and really focusing on your spiritual needs, because it's really going to help you, again, like, find your voice, your intuitive voice. And the more time that you spend with it, the more time that you connect with it, it becomes much, much easier to discern what your intuition is versus what your fears is or what your anxieties are. Okay, because they have very different voices, and I know a lot of times people can feel confused about what's what. So by really creating a sacred space that you can connect back to your spirituality and connect back to your soul, it's really going to help you to find a lot of clarity. So Pyle 2, that's everything that I'm seeing for you. Let me know in the comments how this resonated. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching, and hit the post notification bell so you never miss out on when I upload a video. I love you so, so much. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Hey there, Pyle 3. If you chose this stunning Lepidolite, this is going to be your reading all about what your soul is craving. So before we take a look at these oracle cards, what we're going to do first is shake up this little bag that I have. And inside I have bits of paper that have different messages on it. And so these will be our first hints as to what it is your soul is craving. So spirit guides, please, for pile number 3. My pile 3's choosing the Lepidolite. What is it that pile 3's soul is craving, please? Oh my god. Okay, that is like way too many. Okay, these are gonna go back and we'll try that again. Okay, well, I do see rest and recovery was actually open like this, so I'm gonna leave that out because I feel like it showed itself for a reason. Okay, let's try that again. Spirit guides, please, for pile number 3. Pile 3 viewers, what is it that pile 3's soul is craving, please? Okay. So we had rest and recovery coming up before. We have burden. We have leap of faith. Okay, we have desire to move forward. We have maybe. We have inner knowing and wisdom. And we also have 888. Okay. Also, I want to mention, while I was preparing your cards, the first thing that came through when I asked my guides what your soul was craving, the first thing that I heard was peace. I kept hearing peace. So keeping that in mind, and the fact that we have burden here and rest and recovery, I feel like maybe you guys have been going through it a little bit. Maybe you've been going through a tough time or a very stressful period of your life. Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities or like a lot that's on your plate. I almost get this feeling of overwhelm, but your soul is really wanting you to take some time out to rest and recuperate so that you can kind of quiet out the noise or quiet the distractions and receive more clarity on how it is that you want to move forward. Because this may be like message that we have here. It's like, I feel like you want to move forward. There's a desire to move forward here. But I feel like maybe energetically or emotionally or mentally, you're not prepared to do that yet because you've been so burdened or burnt out or overworked in some way. So it's like you want to get out of the situation, but maybe you don't know how because you don't even have the energy to conceive a plan or have the energy to see a way forward. But your inner knowing and wisdom is really being highlighted here. So it's like your soul knows which direction that it wants to go in. And maybe it's been trying to communicate that with you, but maybe the messages have been kind of getting lost among the noise or getting, my ear just rang. It's like the messages are being lost among the noise or being lost among kind of everything else that's been going on in your life or in your environment. But we have 888 here, and we also have leap of faith. So 888 is a really lucky and auspicious number. It's really positive and abundant. So whatever the direction it is that you feel called to move in, if this is like a dream or a goal that you've always wanted to achieve, but maybe never felt super confident about moving in that direction, or like never had an opportunity because it was like you were going down this one path and maybe you couldn't understand how to kind of make that crossover in the direction that you wanted to go in. But it's like this leap of faith that you're wanting to take is going to bring you a lot of abundance, and there's going to be a lot of like synchronicities along the way, a lot of divine help from the universe that's going to kind of appear on your path as you move forward. That's really going to confirm to you that like, hey, this leap of faith that I'm taking was the right choice to make, because I'm deciphering all of these like synchronicities and signs that the universe is giving me. And even though there still may be obstacles, going down this path actually feels a lot easier in ways. Like it feels more natural. So those are the first messages that I'm getting. Let's take a look at your oracle cards. So you actually got two. Sorry about that, you guys. I got a phone call. So let's take a look at your oracle cards now. You actually got two from this deck. So we have the third eye chakra. The frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination, and our psychic powers. And we also have passion. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. We also have renewal with the root chakra. We have the horse. We have diligence. And we also, wow, look at that. We have peace. I literally said, like, as soon as I tapped into your energy, when I was preparing these cards, the first thing that I heard was peace. And we have the peace card coming out. And I was already, and we were talking about synchronicities too, so look at that. So one thing that I'm noticing right away is, so we have 23 reducing to a 5. So we have 5, 6, 34 reduces to a 7, and then we have 8, 8, 8. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, there's this idea about like moving forward, making progress, which was also very much aligned with the horse energy, which is all about freedom. It's all about freedom and momentum. It also makes me think of the Chariot card in tarot, which again talks about the same thing. It talks about having the willpower and the confidence to really move forward in the direction that you feel called to. And it's really about taking the reins and really feeling in control. Because it's like if we don't take the initiative to take the actions that will lead us down the road that we want to go down, life will make choices for us, right? So it's like the chariot will move, or the horse will move in whatever direction it wants to go in if we don't take control and make those decisions for ourselves. So I feel like that's kind of the position that you've been in. This passion card, it's kind of like the same thing. I feel like there's a lot that's going on either under the surface or in your environment, and chaos is an opportunity to bring clarity and make decisions. From chaos we can create anything, right? But if we don't take that chaos and mold it into what we want, it can become detrimental. It can become overwhelming and stressful and really ungrounding, right? So I feel like you've been really burdened by the fact that I feel like there's something that you really want to go after. There's a new beginning that your soul is really craving. There's like, your soul almost wants this like fresh start for you, because I think the path that you're going down, or what it is that you're doing, isn't fully aligned with you, and it's leaving you feel burnt out. So maybe you're not pursuing the kind of job that you want to be doing, or maybe you're not in a relationship with a kind of person who really matches your ideals and values. Maybe you don't have the kind of friends that really support and uplift you and encourage you to pursue your dreams and your ideas. There's something about, there's like a mismatch is what I'm feeling, where it's like, I have this inner knowing and wisdom that what I'm doing, or kind of the direction that I'm going in, isn't fully aligned or isn't fully what I want, but I haven't yet created something of this chaos. I haven't yet molded this energy into something that actually fits much better for me. And I find it super interesting that we have the third eye chakra, and in this horse card, we see the crescent moon right where the third eye would be. And then in this renewal card, her crown chakra is glowing, and you can see all of her chakras here being highlighted. Okay. So some of you could be going through a Kundalini awakening, because we do have the base chakra and also the upper chakras being highlighted here. So okay, that could also be why we have this rest and recovery message. If you're going through a Kundalini awakening, it can be very jarring and exhausting. And this could also be where some of this chaotic energy is coming from. And your soul really wants peace, as we see here. And what is peace? Peace is being free from attachment. It's being free from wanting anything, right? Because when we say that we want something, it means that we don't have it. And so it always puts it in this future tense where it's always out of reach for us. But your soul is saying it doesn't have to be out of reach. This doesn't have to be a thing that's somewhere in the distant future and like, oh yeah, one day I'll do that. You can have it now. You can start making decisions now that will change the direction of the course that you're going in. And your soul is saying it may not be easy. Okay, it's going to take a lot of diligence. It's going to take a lot of hard work, dedication, consistency. You're going to have to show up every day. Okay, work really hard. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it. So I don't know what it is that's going on in your life or how much control you have over it. But your soul is really encouraging you to, whenever you can, for however long you can, to create pockets during the day where you can rest and recover and create a sense of peace for yourself. So this can look like meditating. This could look like maybe even going for a walk. This could literally be napping or, going to bed earlier, waking up a little bit later, meeting your own needs before, taking on the day. So like, are you the kind of person who, as soon as your alarm goes off in the morning, you start checking your work emails, you start cleaning the house, you start, going on technology and like doing all these things, doing house chores, and you start going, trying to accomplish all of these things without taking any time for yourself. Like, instead, you could wake up, have a nice breakfast for yourself, take some time out to meditate, sit down and make a plan for the day. And once you're grounded and you've taken care of some of your needs, then it's like, okay, what's on my to-do list? What's a priority here? Okay, I have some work stuff to do. Or, okay, I have this project to work on. Or I need to help this person with this thing. It's like I feel a really strong imbalance. And you may be in a position where you feel like other people's needs are more important than your own. And so your soul is really calling you to come back to yourself and to remember what it is that you want. Like, what you have this desire to move forward. So where is it that you want to go? Is there a certain dream or goal or ambition that you've either given up on or maybe put on the back burner because life got in the way and you had other things that you had to take care of? Because that's okay. That does happen sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you need to let go of that dream forever. Sometimes we're steered in another direction for a while, but that doesn't mean that we have to stay on that trajectory forever. Okay, you can always turn the steering wheel and redirect yourself back to, your own plans and goals and dreams, and figuring out what you're passionate about and what it is that you want to do with your life. But this card here, this renewal card, it makes me feel like you're really entering oh wow, I just saw 11:11 on the timer. Right as I was about to say, I feel like you're entering the springtime of your life where there's so many possibilities and new opportunities that are blooming for you and that are going to start appearing. And in order to be in the best position for you to take on these new options and opportunities that are coming up is to really start taking care of yourself first. It's like this renewal card is making me feel like some kind of like going on a retreat or like going to the spa, just like really pampering yourself and doing a lot of self-care, reconnecting to yourself, like journaling, asking yourself some deep questions like, where do I want to go? Where do I see myself in, 3 or 5 years? What dreams do I have? Like getting back to the core of who you are and really focusing on yourself and focusing on your health on every level, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your energetic health. okay? Because your soul holds all this wisdom. Your soul knows what you need on all of those levels. And we have the third eye chakra, we have inner knowing and wisdom, and this horse card here, as well as we have two birds. We have this white dove and we have this other like white bird here. So it's like there's so much divine wisdom that your guides in the universe, your higher self, your soul has been wanting to give to you, but you're not necessarily able to receive that information because of this burden and burnout and stress that you've been feeling, which is why it's so important to rest and recover and take as much time as you need to do this. Okay, this isn't necessarily just like, you know, gonna be done in a weekend and then you're feeling ready to go. Okay, this may take some time, and that's okay. There's no rush. You're not behind in any way. It's not too late for you to change your mind. It's not too late for you to go after your dreams. Okay, it's always possible to do. So don't feel rushed or pressured, and certainly don't give up. If there's something that you want to go after, there's always time and there's always a way to make that happen. And your soul is really wanting you to feel more confident about that, right? Because we have this maybe here. It's like you're toying with this idea where I feel like you want to say yes, but you have some doubts that are making you kind of pull back every time you start to feel confident about moving forward. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Spirit guides, please, for pile number 3 viewers that chose the Lepidolite crystal, what is their soul craving, please, for pile number 3? What is pile 3's soul craving? What else can you tell us about this? Ooh, okay. So we have the moon. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the High Priestess. Yeah, this is like, I love this. Okay, can we get one more card, please? What is pile number 3's soul craving, please, spirit guides? What is pile number 3's soul craving? Yeah, and this is, I understand why this group has the Lepidolite, because Lepidolite is really, really calming. It's very relaxing. I like to keep this next to my bed to help me sleep at night. And it's also related to the crown chakra and the third eye chakra as well. So it's, again, this idea of like bringing peace into your life, bringing stillness, having rest, and also having this really, really strong connection to source, like we see with the High Priestess and the moon, the third eye chakra. What is pile number 3's soul craving, please, spirit guides? Can we please get one more card for my pile 3's? Ooh. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles, and we had the Two of Cups come out underneath the King of Pentacles, but it wasn't showing itself, so I'm not actually going to take it, but I wanted to tell you that it was there. And then underneath the deck, we have the Queen of Cups. Yes. So like we were talking about, like literally this Ace of Wands is like this passion card. And then we have the Moon and the High Priestess. This is, your soul is really craving and longing for you to really take a leap of faith and move in the direction that you're feeling called to. This really feels like a life purpose kind of thing, or like a soul mission or something. With the Ace of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Moon here, it feels like, it feels very significant. This doesn't just feel like, you know, for example, like switching up your diet. This really feels like something big, like there's this divine spark that was planted within you, or all of these divinely creative ideas that are channeled to you. And it's the reason why you have this calling to move in this direction, or you have these ideas or downloads, is because you're the one that's capable of making it happen, and no one can make it happen in the exact way that you can do it. It's like there's something specific here that it's like you're meant for this, you're made for this. It's like the perfect recipe almost. But I don't think that this is something that you have completely figured out yet with the moon and the high priestess. I feel like this is something that you need to still uncover. But with this desire to move forward and leap of faith and inner knowing and wisdom, it's like, I feel like you're in this position where you're kind of realizing that like where you're at or what you're doing isn't working, but you don't necessarily know like what the right thing is. You maybe feel called to go in a completely different direction and be like, I have no idea like why I feel so strongly about this. And like, this is kind of crazy. Like, I don't, my whole life I've been doing this, or for the last 5 years I've been moving in this direction, and now all of a sudden I have this like urge that won't go away to like do a 180 and like go in this new direction now. But there's so much you have. I feel like you're my spiritual Pyle. You may work in spirituality, like you may be a healer, or you may be psychic, or work with tarot, work with divination. You may not, but there's something about what you're doing where it's like, whether you realize it or not, you're so in tune with the divine, you're so in tune with source, and like your ideas and inspirations come from source. It's like literally just channeled straight through you, like from your crown. Okay? And your soul is saying that there's a lot of stability and security in this direction that you feel called to go in. A lot of abundance, like ridiculous amounts of abundance. With the King of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups, this is like, yes, financial abundance and rewards and success, but also feeling emotionally abundant, feeling emotionally satisfied. It's like satisfying your creativity, satisfying your like strategic, critical thinking mindset. It's fulfilling on so many levels. And it's like, who other than the King of Pentacles knows what diligence means? Okay? The King of Pentacles is the cream of the crop, okay? He's the last card in all of tarot and represents the culmination and getting to the point where you don't want or need anything, right? Like being at peace, being free from desire, being free from attachment of wanting, because he has everything. And you have everything too within you. And everything that you feel like you don't have, it's like it's meant for you and it's made for you and it's waiting for you, but you just haven't gone to that point of the story yet. The King of Pentacles knows how much hard work it can take, but at the same time, he knows that he's not doing it alone because the universe is helping him, right? That's why it's called co-creation, because we work hand in hand with the universe. We don't do everything on our own. And certainly the universe doesn't just deliver things on our lap without any of our input either. So you may not fully see where the path is leading you, but your soul is encouraging you to take this leap of faith, because these inklings that you're getting, these like little nudges that you've been getting, are trying to lead you towards your destiny. It's trying to lead you towards so much abundance and fulfillment for you, even though it feels scary because you're like, I don't even know where this is going. So why should I start even moving in this direction, right? It's like walking in the dark. You may not see the bottom of the staircase, or you may not see the end of the road, but you know it's there. And if you take one step at a time carefully, you'll get there. And your soul's also wanting you to know that you're a lot stronger than you think, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like you're very, very strong, and you need to give yourself more credit for that as well. But there's definitely something very mystical and magical about all of this. Like I was saying with synchronicities coming up, like I think I think this whole path and this whole journey is going to feel really, really magical. And there's going to be so many moments where like you get certain synchronicities or you get certain signs or like things start happening and you're just going to be like, holy shit. Like I can't believe that like this is happening the way that it is. Like this is crazy. So if there's like a creative project or something that you've been wanting to work on, something that you've been wanting to start, go for it is what your soul is saying. Go for it. You're being supported, okay? Fully. You're being supported fully in the spiritual realm, in the energetic realm. And like the whole universe is cheering you on to kind of pivot and move in this new direction. So let's take a look at some practical advice from your soul. We have, your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. Exactly. And we have the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. I love this for you because I feel like you really need to hear this. I feel like you've really been going through a tough time, and I'm so glad and grateful to see this card for you, that this really difficult cycle that you've been going through is coming to an end, and you have a chance. There's an opportunity here with the Ace of Wands and this renewal card to do something new, to fully let go of what's not working with all of these full moons here, and to embrace this change and embrace this freedom, embrace the chaos, and to turn it into something that's going to work for you. Okay, we have 2 full moons in earth signs here. And we also have the earth element with the horse. So I think grounding is going to be especially helpful for you in terms of resting, recovering, recuperating your energy, right? We even see here in the renewal card, she's literally sitting on the earth meditating. So this could be something that you do, or spending time in nature, doing yoga, making art, connecting with your inner child. There's a lot of different things that you can do to ground. So find a way that works best for you. But we also have your dreams need a practical plan. So have a really good think about what this leap of faith is, where it is that you want to go. What is this direction that you're desiring to move in? And literally write out step by step different actions you can take, different steps you can take. Maybe different people you can connect with who may help you or have some advice for you. Okay? Because it can be really easy to be like, yeah, I want to be a ballerina. But it's like, okay, well, how do I even do that? Well, the first step is to sign up for a dance class, right? You need to buy your ballet shoes and buy the outfit for it. You need to practice a lot, maybe you need a stereo or something so that you can play this music that you can practice. Okay, maybe you need to go to competitions. You see what I mean? Find and research practical steps that you can take that will slowly but surely lead you towards your goal. This card here is going to represent a direct message from your soul. So let's see what your soul has to say. Yes, look at that. Follow through. And again, we have the number 23. Okay, so the number 23 could be a significant sign that you see. But I'm actually going to read this from the book because that's what I did for the other groups. And all of the messages were super, super accurate and really resonated. So some keywords for this card. We have an unfinished idea that needs finishing, allowing yourself to say it's done, following through and nurturing your relationships. Okay, so it says, was your big, beautiful masterpiece left unfinished? A book or a symphony, something you began but didn't fully birth? Right now is the perfect time to revisit an old dream that was always meant to happen. It's a perfect time to follow through with people, projects, promises, and ideas. Tying up loose ends will allow you to interact with integrity and to keep all of your energetic resources intact. When you set out to start something new, you place a bit of your energetic self, time, money, energy, intentions into the hopes of that new beginning. Leaving a project floating or unfinished can niggle away at the back of your mind long after the idea has been forgotten. That nagging voice that says, "You didn't do what you said you were going to do," can drain you energetically, and that guilt can even become a sense of diminished self-worth or lack of accomplishment. If your heart knows it's not meant to happen, it's time to officially close the energetic ties that bind. What do you need to finish? What needs closure? It's time to reclaim all of those energy strings so you can use them to weave your brightest future. Okay, and then it also has a few prompts. It says, what unfinished business could you close off that would make you feel buoyant? Are you following through and following up with your relationships and your connections? Are you better at starting or finishing things? How can you use this knowledge to plan your steps effectively? Wow. This is where I would do a mic drop, okay? So I'll hold this up for you if you want to screenshot those prompts, if you want to journal, reflect on them. It could be helpful for you. But wow, those messages were really, really accurate. Okay, finally, we have these two last cards, which are also going to represent what your soul is craving, but in terms of self-care. So we have, speaking of journaling, we have journal. Okay, and we also have soak in a bath. Yeah, okay, so exactly. This is just about finding different ways to rest and recuperate your energy. I would recommend doing a salt bath. That's really good for cleansing your energy. But, you know, just creating a relaxing environment for you to be in, even if it's just making your bedroom feel more relaxing, like having nice candles, having calming crystals like Lepidolite. Maybe aromatherapy, like having lavender or I don't know, anything else, any other smells that you find to be relaxing, you know, just creating this really nice environment for yourself where you can just have a moment to decompress, okay, work through any emotions, work through any stress or burdens that you're feeling, just to really offload it from your mind and your heart so that you feel a little bit lighter, because I feel like that's what you really need. I also just saw 32 on the clock. So 23, 32, these are significant numbers for you as a synchronicity. So that's everything that I'm seeing for you, Pile 3. Let me know in the comments how this resonated for you. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching, and hit the post notification bell so you never miss out on when I upload a video. I love you so, so much. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys!